All right, in this video, I'm going to show you all about the ins and outs of Business Manager and things that I typically look at, and then other areas that I might not look at when I'm doing different things with the Business Manager account. So you may have seen in the other videos, basically when you're adding people to your team internally, this is to start business.facebook.com/settings. That's where we're at right here. This is the main settings page for your Business Manager. So under users here, this is where you're going to add people to your internal team. Partners here will be where you add different partners, people that you're working with that are external to your company, and you can give them access to your various assets there. And then your accounts here, this is going to contain your different pages, your ad accounts, your Instagram accounts. Those are the primary things there that you need to be looking at and working on there. So these are your Facebook pages here, your specific ad accounts, and then your Instagram accounts if you have any that are linked to your pages as well. And then data sources here, this is going to contain your catalog. So this is if you're selling actual physical e-commerce products, you might sync your product catalog from something like Shopify or WooCommerce to a Business Manager, and that'll be right here. And you can go in, you can add that and sync it and do things with your catalog there. And then your pixels, so this is if you have different pixels that you've created, you've implemented them on your websites, you go in there and you can see different pixel settings here. If you look here, there's a button Open an Events Manager, and that'll take you to sort of where you can set up more pixel events and do setup and that kind of thing. So when you click on a lot of these, there'll be kind of those different icons up here that'll bring you to those different menus to look at more details when it relates to those items in your Business Manager. Custom conversions I might set up, but you probably won't for the most case, but these can be different unique conversion events that you'll set up that aren't quite something as simple as like a purchase or a lead, but something more intense that you might want to track. You can do those there. And that's mainly what I'll use in data sources. Shared audiences here, if you're sharing an audience between businesses, for example, or if you have multiple companies or whatnot, or multiple locations, you can share those different audiences if you have different websites through this, but mainly I'm using catalogs or pixels in the data sources. And then brand safety, domains is usually what I might be doing. So this is where you can verify your business website domain. So this will be something that you'll definitely want to do. So you can go into domains here, you can add your domain, and then there's settings to, or instructions to show you how to set up that domain and verify it with Facebook. That just makes them sure of certain ads that you're running, that it's not some sort of spammy site or something. This just verifies that it's legit and you own that domain. So that helps out. So I definitely recommend that. Registrations I don't do much with. This is where I believe you can do stuff for, I think this is for, news pages. So if you're a news company or whatnot, you can do that there, but I don't really do anything there. Integrations, so if you have leads and leads forms, you can set up your integrations with different CRM tools that you might use. So another one there. Payment methods, this is where you're going to add your card information for your Business Manager account where you're going to be spending your money. So you can go into there if you want to look at things like receipts and updating your card info, adding new payments, all that kind of stuff can be in there. Security Center. This is where you can go to set up two-factor authentication, add more admins, all that kind of stuff. You'll see here it's saying I'm the only admin. I definitely recommend if you're a business owner to add someone else as your admin just in case, worst case scenario, something happens with your ad account, your personal account. This can protect your Business Manager and your different assets. So definitely add another admin in here. If you're looking at this and you don't have someone added yet, just make sure to add someone there. You can also make people required to set up two-factor authentication. I highly recommend that, especially if you're spending money on your ad account, to have everyone set up with two-factor authentication. I've heard a lot of horror stories there, so definitely do that. And then business verification, you can do that too as well. If there's other products and things you can do. This ad account, or this Business Manager I made more recently, so I can't start that process yet. And that's something to know too when you're just setting up a lot of things. Sometimes Facebook does take some time to allow you to use certain tools. Like you'll see here, I can't do this yet. There's certain things that won't let you link and things like that as well. If you're just setting up everything like your Facebook page, your Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So just know if you're trying to run ad accounts right away for a new account, it might take some time. So just be cautious of that, and just be patient with it. Requests here, this is if you've sent requests to access certain things, or likewise if people have sent you requests, you can view those in here, and you can see like things that you've sent to other people, what you've received, and you can grant those in here as well. And then notifications, these are just your main notifications. You can also see those right here when it comes to your business manager. So things that the ad account might have had happened, or different updates, or all that kind of stuff can be found there. Business info, this is where you're going to add kind of your business address, your name, your tax ID, all that sort of stuff. You can do that in business info. And then I want to show you lastly, actually let's show you down here, there's a help bar and there's a search bar. So if I click on the help bar, what's really cool is over here then I can search for different Facebook related articles, and you can scroll down and you can see things like Ads Manager updates. So this is where I usually go to see different updates when it comes to the Ads Manager accounts, what's changing with ads. There's new updates all the time. So if you want to look at those, you'll just go down here, click on help, and then you can go and scroll down and click on that right here, Ads Manager updates. But then you can also look at different articles that they have recommended, and you can search for articles. So this is a pretty handy little area here as well. Okay, so that's a main overview of kind of the settings with Business Manager. Now I'll show you all of the other things that sort of integrate into Business Manager and the different tools that I use primarily as well. So here, if I click, you can see Business Tools. This is everything that kind of is encompassed with your Business Manager. Ads Manager here, this is what takes you to your actual ad account that you've created. You can go in here to create your different ads, upload your assets, do your campaigns, all that sort of thing. Now, Events Manager here, this is where you can look at your different pixel events. You can set up certain conversion events for your pixel. Like for example, if someone submits a lead form and you want that to count as a lead for your ads, you can go in and you can say, fire this lead conversion event when someone lands on this confirmation page or something, for example. So that you would do here. Same thing if you're trying to debug anything with your pixel, that'll be in Events Manager. So just think of your pixel mainly is your events manager here. Everything that's going on with your pixel, all that data, setting it up, all that stuff is there. Account quality here, this is sort of an overview of what your account looks like. And this is more things of if you have rejected ads or any other problems that your account might have, you can go there to appeal those rejections and get those fixed. Now, I would say, and I would definitely note that Facebook is very buggy in the back end. There are things that happen that shouldn't be happening because there's just so many integrations and updates that Facebook does all the time. So there's constantly little issues that you might find. If there's a lot of cases too where certain ads will get flagged and they'll get rejected, and they could be wrong. So if you're running ads, I definitely recommend first checking out all of the advertising policies, which you can just Google search Facebook ad policies, and you can read through those. If you know something was wrongfully flagged, you can appeal that though, and you can do that through this account quality. So definitely know that though. I've had even as soon as today ads wrongfully rejected. So it happens. Don't worry about it, but just make sure you're following all the policies properly there. And then audiences here, this is where you can create your different audiences, like your, uploading your email list that you might have, setting up audiences, like if you want to set up an audience of like your last 30-day Facebook engagers or Instagram engagers or website visitors, all that sort of stuff. This is where you go to generate those audiences that then you use in your Ads Manager account. And then ad account settings. This is settings related to your ad account, adding people there, payment settings, all that kind of stuff will be done in there. And I'll just kind of scroll down here. Now these shortcuts might be different to you as well, but they'll be down here too. I've seen these laid out in different ways to different people based on what you're using the most. So if I scroll down here, this is where everything will show though. Under Manage Business, you can see again account quality, billing, that's where all your payment settings are. Those receipts will be. Brand safety, we already went over. Brand safety we haven't gone over. Let's click on that and look at what that's looking like. Yeah, so this is setting up different things for your page and whatnot, where you can do like profanity filters and different standards with your page. So this is kind of cool to go in and do different things like that. You can do exclusions with topics, contents, block lists, all that kind of stuff. If you want to block certain pages and apps and that sort of thing, you can do that there. And then publisher lists here, where your ads will actually be shown on Facebook's other networks. If you want to not show them on certain pages or things, you can do that here as well. But we're not going to get too much farther into that. I don't use this too much, but it is a tool that you can use. Business settings, those are those settings where we already looked at, where you're looking at users and adding partners and all that sort of thing. Events Manager, again, that's that pixel details page where you can do all the stuff with your pixel. Media Library, if you want to do bulk uploads of your different creative assets, you can go into there and use that. I typically just upload them when I'm creating the ads, so I do it a different way, but you can use the Media Library to do that as well, which can be nice. Store locations, this is where you can manage your different stores that you might have in different locations. If you have tons of different stores, or if you're a chain or something, you can do that there. Okay, ad limits per page. This will be how many ads your page can run. A lot of them, it'll be like 250 ads. But if you want to look at how close you are to those ad limits, you can go into there and use that. I don't use that too much. Facebook will kind of warn you already if you get close to that number, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Ads Manager, again, we talked about audiences. Automated rules, these are rules that you can set up when it comes to different things in Facebook. We're going to click on that and go into it real quick. So these are different rules you can set up when it comes to your ads and your ad sets. You can set to say, spend if you've made this much money, or this cost per result is lower than what your goal might be. You can do that and have it do automation and things like that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to everyone unless if you've kind of gone in and you're really comfortable using Advertising Manager. But you can do that there. You can also make those rules in Ads Manager as well. Creative Hub, this is where you can do ad mockups. I don't typically use this either. I usually just make them in Ads Manager. But if you had someone else that was creating mockups of ads, they can go and do that in there, and then you can import those into Ads Manager to then run. Ads reporting here, you can get different reporting details of your ads. Analytics, this is actually going to be going away, so I won't even talk about that too much. Attribution, this is an interesting topic with new changes with iOS that are happening, which will be changing. So attribution is basically how long of the windows that you'll look at from when you're showing someone an ad to when you see the results. So if it's, let's say, a 28-day attribution, if I show someone an ad on day 1 and then 28 days later they make a purchase, it'll still show that certain ad led to that purchase. Now, if your attribution window, which is changing now to 7 days, goes lower, then you'll only see it for 7 days. And outside of that, if someone still makes a purchase in 10 days, 28 days, Facebook won't actually attribute that in Ads Manager. So something to know there, but you can look at your different attribution windows here and see kind of what that drop off is between like a 1 day and a 7 day and 28 day and all that sort of stuff as well. Audience Insights, this is a really cool tool. You can go in and you can add different groups here. We can dive into this even later, but you can go in and say, if, maybe I'm interested in, let's say, fitness, for example. You can type in a certain thing. So if I type in physical fitness, and then Audience Analytics will give you a big rundown of kind of what the age and gender breakout of that is, different page and what those top pages are related to fitness. So it's a really cool tool. Locations as well, so you can see top cities that like fitness, all that sort of stuff. So it's a really powerful tool to get tons of insights on your audience. Definitely recommend checking this out. And you can also go and look at pages that you're connected to and see kind of what the demographic information is with your page as well. So really cool tool there. As you see here, I click on this and it still shows me kind of those same layouts here too. So we'll go back to where we were here. So now we're in Audience Insights. Brands Collab Manager, this is if you're doing influencer posts and things like that and you want to run ads and collaborate with people there, you can do that through here. Creative Reporting, this will show you click-through rates and different details when it comes to your creative that you're running for different accounts that you might have. Now, I usually look at this sort of stuff in Ads Manager, but you can also do it through a different kind of method here through Creative Reporting, which is a little bit more visual, showing you what those ads look like. You can still see them in Ads Manager though, so I typically use Ads Manager, but that's an option for you as well. Experiments here, this is if you're running a specific experiments that you want to do. So if you want to do different A/B tests and that sort of thing, you can do those here through experiments. Facebook optimizes for your campaigns and your ads and everything based on the goals that you set, and they'll do that kind of by, if they see one ad that's really performing well, they'll dump a lot more of that budget into that ad. But if you want to do a very scientific approach to testing and you want to A/B test instead of showing, like, if we have 2 ads and one really performs well, Facebook will dump all that money there. If you want that to not happen and you don't want them to evenly distribute that money, you'll run an experiment here, and then you can really compare the two scientifically to see what those results are. Traffic analysis report. This is where you can get different information with the traffic that you have. So you can go into there and look at more metrics there. And then page posts. This is kind of a newer one where you can see your different page posts and what the engagement is there on all the different pages that you might have. And then Commerce Manager. This is another area where it's like a business manager of your product catalog. So you can go in, you can add items, you can remove them, you can resync your catalog, you can make different categories, all that sort of stuff you do in Commerce Manager here. So that's mainly it. I just wanted to give you a big rundown of Business Manager, what it all encompasses, and all of the tools that are related to Business Manager here that you can see. And again, if I go back to Business Manager here, it'll look very similar where you just click on, it'll be like the 9 dots instead of this, and then you can see all of this. And these, like I said, might be different for you based on what you use the most. But you can see all here, they're the same. You just scroll down and click on whatever you want to use. So I hope this helps out. If there's any questions, feel free to let us know. Thanks.